Shut up and sit down.
What is the HTC U11 Life? The U11 Life is a delightful-looking mid-range phone that could more accurately be described as the U11 Lite. In many ways this handset offers a very solid deal, packing some great features into an attractive shell. For me, however, some fairly awful software problems mean I can't seriously recommend it. HTC U11 Life Design. The U11 Life is unashamedly plastic. I love the shiny blue coating around the rear, although it picks up grease smudges if you so much as even look at it. I'm not overly concerned by this, though, as even with a little hand grease on board it still looks fabulous, unless it's under direct light, that is. It's a 5.2-inch handset, but it doesn't feel quite that large. A thin bezel sits around the screen, which, combined with the tapering rear, makes the U11 Life exceptionally easy to hold. All the buttons that matter are on the right, with a volume rocker and a dimpled standby power button that's easy to find. On the front you'll find a small fingerprint scanner, and LED notification light up at the top, and the front-facing camera. Along the bottom edge is a USB-C connector that's placed weirdly off-center, but no headphone jack. HTC includes a reasonably decent pair of USB-C headphones in the box, but no dongle with which to attach your regular 3.5mm headphones. And there's no dongle that allows you to charge while listening to your tunes or podcasts, either, which is just infuriating. Budget another £20 for buying these essential accessories. The U11 Life is IP67 certified, meaning it should survive a drop in the toilet or a heavy rain shower. This is a welcome feature, and by no means standard at this price point. HTC U11 Life Display and Sound. The 5.2-inch panel has a full HD resolution for a pixel density of 424 ppi. This is about as much as most people could ever want, and in general it's a very good display indeed. It's just a standard LCD panel, without any of the bells and whistles of an AMOLED, but it really doesn't need it. Colors are bright and punchy, and there are no issues with color shifting if you're viewing the phone from an awkward angle. The likes of the Google Pixel and iPhone X could learn a thing or two here. Sadly, it does have one shortfall: there's a fair bit of motion blur when scrolling vertically. It isn't the worst I've seen, but it's certainly quite jarring. It's also worth mentioning the LED notification light here, since it has an impact on the experience. If you happen to be low on battery, the light will flash intensely until you plug in the device or it dies completely. The light will flash even when the screen is on, which proved particularly distracting. As for sound quality, the built-in speaker is impressive. I wouldn't describe it as loud, but it offers good range and doesn't distort. As for the USB-C jack, the obvious advantage of a digital-only output is that it removes the distortion and poor quality of an analog port. HTC phones are generally regarded as some of the best in the business when it comes to onboard audio, and the U11 Life continues to impress here. HTC U11 Life Software and Performance. Android One is the headline feature of this phone. Imagine Android One devices being on the fastest possible track to every official Android update, so as soon as a new version of the OS is released, Android One devices will be first in line. That's great, and solves one of Android's biggest problems. Sadly, HTC seems to have introduced a few of its own, and my 2 weeks using this phone have been somewhat frustrating. I'm not sure what HTC has done to the operating system, but it feels slower and jankier than I can remember any phone being. Switching between apps takes an age, and if you switch back to an app you had open only seconds earlier, it will more often than not completely reopen the app as a fresh start, forgetting what you were doing.